All right. Test one, two, three. Good morning, good morning. Normally everything should be good. Let me know in the chat box or give me a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clear so we can start this beautiful morning session. Yes, there we go, there we go. All right. Good. Let's first start with the news. What kind of news events do we have today? What are the events we need to look out for? First of all, we had some news during the night on AUD and also like 6 minutes ago CPI on CHF, but this is already passed, so we don't really need to look into that. What we do have today is the ADP, the front runner of NFP. So this is what we want to pay attention at 2:15. But for the rest, it's looking pretty calm. We do have Trump speaking tonight at 8:30. So this is maybe one we want to pay attention at. But the most important ones is especially the unemployment claims here on Thursday and also the PCE on Friday. Okay. If we look further into the week, next week, we do see AUD cash rate, which is something we need to be aware of. And the most important one is, of course, but that's next Wednesday. I will go over that next Wednesday also, is the FOMC, all right? Rate cuts, yes or no? That's the big question. But for this week, coming week, it's pretty calm, all right? We don't have too big of news events coming in. Thursday, Friday, we do have the USD, so please be aware of that. But for the rest, it's looking pretty calm, all right? Like Trump is speaking tonight, but that's okay. At 2:15 ADP non-farm employment change. I don't think we will see the biggest impacts there because I think the whole market is really looking into the next Wednesday where we will see the FOMC numbers coming out. Okay, so good. Let's dive into it. Let's see what kind of price drops we had from last week and what the price drops actually did. Okay, where did you had opportunities to react on and so on and so forth. First of all, for the people who do not know what price drop is, well, it's pretty simple. Like the name is already saying it, we are gonna trap price in between a high and a low, the most recent high and low, and then wait for the market to break out. Okay, the moment the market breaks out, we know a direction and we know which direction we can possibly follow. So, for example, here on gold, we see that the market is uptrending, and in that uptrending market, you will see that there are certain levels where the market reacts on, where the market breaks out of, and where the market retests. Okay, so if we take a look at this last move, we see that we have like a resistance zone right over here, and right over here. Okay, so like you can see, what did the market do? Every time the market breaks those highs, we see the market coming back for the retest and then move higher. Same thing here, we break those highs, so those highs, of course, we come back for the retest and then the market follows up on that breakout. Okay, same thing here, market breaks out, comes back for the retest, we have a reaction, but here it's already obvious that the market is starting to consolidate and starting to attack previous structure. So this is what we do. We simply follow the highs and the lows, and by following these highs and lows, we know the direction or the possible direction that will happen in the upcoming hours, days. Okay. Let me check. I see a link coming in. I love that. This is NZD I'm not sure if I shared this one last week. Maybe it's one from your own. That's also possible, of course. You were looking for, let me check. What time frame is this? 15-minute time frame. So basically the retest on this level here, yeah, I do understand. I do like what I'm seeing here, to be honest. If we take a look at that 1 hour time frame, what I just explained you, what do we have? We have a high, we have a low. The market breaks out of that low, comes back for the retest, and right over here you found or you try to find yourself a reaction or an entry to the downside. Okay, because of the breakout to the downside, of course, which is good. The structure is in place. The breakout was in place. The retest was in place. We also had an opportunity right over here and an opportunity right over here. So two different opportunities here on NZD but it just didn't respect this level. Okay. Personally, I personally didn't trap it because I just didn't like what I was seeing there. There were more clean price traps, to be honest, from yesterday. But let's first go over the price traps from last week. It will be pretty quick because there was not a lot happening. But like you can see here, we have 80 Canadian. We got the breakout. We were waiting for that retest, but the market just didn't come as low as we wanted to see. AD and ZD, same thing. We broke out to the downside. Remember my words. I said like when I see the market breaking this aggressively to the downside, usually I'm just waiting for the market to create some new structure. Okay, that's what I did. The moment I saw this structure, I waited for the breakout retest to the downside. I got a break even on this point. I just deleted everything and I just got a fresh view on AUD and ZD. And what did I do yesterday? Pretty simple. I used the new high and low. What do we see? The market breaks out, comes back for the retest, and now we are slowly but surely climbing back up to the previous support zone where we were waiting for the retest last week. Okay, so pretty simple. Once you really understand the market structure, once you really see the market structure happen time and time again, you will see the easier it will become for yourself to find these kind of price traps. Good. CHF JPY broke to the downside. I think we were around this area of price when we were on the session. I was looking for some price action to really react on this. If I'm not mistaken, I even said like if we can break the 5-minute lows, I will be reacting. And that was, let me get back. Here we go. You see my line is still here. So we broke that. We came back for the retest. Entry was around this area. Yeah. Excuse me. Whew. So entry was around this area. If we go to the high, we have like a 15 pip stop. What did the market do? The market only took off for around 27 pips. So yeah, it was pretty close to a 1-on-2 risk to reward. And personally, I always go risk-free after 1-on-2 risk to reward. I didn't see this, so the market turned on me and just hit my stop loss. All right, but that's fine because we know the win rate is strong enough to have some stop losses here and there. For Euro Canadian, I was already doubting on it. I was already saying like, I don't like what I'm seeing here. We are really creating that downtrending structure. The price action, we did deliver some price action. This is Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday we were right at this point here. All right, so we did have some price action at this area here. But I wasn't fully convinced anymore about this idea, about this pair. I personally didn't react anymore. But if you found yourself an entry, let me talk about the positive side here, because what we see here is some good price action. We have the rejection on the 1 hour, we have the 30-minute time frame morning star and engulfing candles. 15-minute time frame, let me check. Also the engulfing candle right over here. So you could find yourself an entry at this area with 8 pips stop, and like you can see, the market went for more than 20 pips in profit, so a break even was definitely possible there. But then the market turned around and just didn't respect that uptrending move anymore. Okay, simple. Don't break your head too much around markets that don't turn, right? That doesn't go in your direction what you expected, because expectations is really a very dangerous thing in trading, because you expecting the market to go lower or you expecting the market to go higher puts you in a position that allows you to maybe start using the wrong thought process. You know, like for example, we're looking at Euro CHF. The market broke out to the upside, came back for the retest, and like you can see here, we have some price action, right? 30-minute time frame, not really the most clear one. 15-minute, also not really the most clear one. You gotta be honest here. This is not really the best price action we could see. This was better. This retest here. But let's just say you found yourself an entry on this area and you expect the market to go up. A lot of people would say like, yeah, why go for a 1-on-3 if I do expect the market to go very high? Why shouldn't I go for a 1-on-10? You know, why should I take profits on a 1-on-3 risk to reward when I see them when I expect the market to go higher um, it doesn't make sense, you know? That's the mindset that creeps into you the moment you start thinking that you start expecting the market to do something, you know? So you see the market going in your direction, you start to get excited, you think like, all right, let's catch a 1 on 10 and let's leave that 1 on 3. Let's just go for the full 1 on 10. And then they end up break even. Simply because you expect the market to go higher. Excuse me. I'm still struggling with the cough. But this is what I want to say. Well, why I'm saying this. I personally I do not expect anything from the market. The market can do whatever the market wants to do, and believe me, the market is gonna do whatever the market wants to do. By having a mindset like that, you will be like, all right, I'm happy with the 1 on 3 risk to rewards. All right, I'm gonna go break even the moment my 1 on 2 is hit because the market can turn against me. All right, I'm gonna use the right risk management because, okay, my confirmations say the market should go up, but that isn't a guarantee that the market will go up, right? So expectations is something you gotta be careful with. I'm not gonna say you cannot expect the market to go or the market to or you cannot have certain expectations from trading, let me say it like that. You can have them, but be careful because if you start to expect from the market to deliver money or to go in a certain direction, you start having these mindset tricks. So please, I personally do not expect anything from the market. I let the market do its thing because the market is going to do whatever the market wants to do, right? So this is a very, very, very important one. Good. Let's move on. A little mindset over there. I hope you like it. Good. USD Canadian. What happened here? Beautiful. Look at that. Breakout. Retest. Engulfing candles. Boom. What a move. What a move. You see, we have like these not so good price traps. So not really what we are looking for. And look at that one. Only one trade can really break out everything. Okay, so market breaks out, comes back for the retest, engulfing candle, 30-minute time frame engulfing candle, 15-minute time frame, same exact thing. All right, so every single price action area was met, and then we saw the market dropping like crazy. All right, if I'm not mistaken, I had a stop loss of 15 pips, something like that. And like you can see, market went for 150 pips in profit, 1 on 10 risk to reward. Okay. Another thing, if you would expect the market to go lower, a lot of people would say like, normally I do 1% risk, but I really do expect the market to go lower. I'm going to go 2%. In this case, it will be good. But if the market decided to go higher, there goes your win rate. There goes your risk to reward. Same thing on chef. Breakout, retest. 1 hour wasn't that clear. 30-minute time frame evening star, 15-minute time frame engulfing candles. All right. So again, a beautiful idea with a run of around 50 pips. What did the market do? Let's see. Let's follow up structure. Lows, lower highs, lower lows, another breakout, another retest. New structure, breakout, another retest. New structure. Let's wait. Let's see. Will we follow up or will we start breaking the opposite direction? Start to understand structure. If you're trading price trap, it's not necessarily about the entry. It's more about the structure, the highs and the lows and the right levels. UJ, beautiful. Breakout, retest, perfect price action. Stop loss around 25 pips. Take profit around 180 pips. Insane. Beautiful. What did we see here? Same thing, same exact thing. Let's just go over it. Lows, highs, breakout, retest, new low, lower high. What happens? Breakout, retest. New lows, new highs. What happens? Breakout, retest. Structure. There we go. This is what I wanted to focus on today on this session is like the basic of price trap, the basics, like the real basics. And what is the real basic about price trap? The highs and lows. Look at that. AD USD, exactly the same price trap like I've shared in my chat yesterday. Let me show you. Beautiful. I love it. And this is the difference between winners and maybe sadly because of news. What happened? Ah, you got kicked out break even? Ah, happens. You see? This is the exact same, right? Yes, exactly. Love it. Beautifully spotted, by the way. Beautiful reaction. So this is the difference between winners and losers. Lewis or Louis, I don't know how you pronounce it. He is every single Wednesday on the call. And if he cannot be on the call, he's watching recordings. And that's what you want to do if you want to succeed in certain aspects in your life. You want to get serious about it, get consistent in it, and disciplined. Am I saying you got to be on the charts 24/7? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you got to be consistent and practice this on a daily basis, on a disciplined basis, and on a, let me first, there we go. This is what you're looking for, I think. This is the exact price drop I also drew yesterday. Yes, that's number one. Let's check. 2 weeks ago, we got a live entry. Let's see. Or let me say a live example because very important, guys and girls. I'm not here to give you any financial advice. I'm only here to show you my strategy, my way of looking at the charts, so you can start using that for yourself. An entry soon on GCAT, yeah. I do like it. I 100% also understand why you're looking for that. Let me first check the higher time frames here. But there is a very interesting thing here. Let me first check. What does hold me back on GCAT is that we did not break that low here. We did reject from it. I don't understand if you would look like it or if you look this way, this kind of, yeah, yeah. It was I had a less of a good start, but the ending was beautiful. So yeah, I had a good month. Is this the way you're looking at GCAT? Gotta be honest that I'm not that big of a fan on GCAT than GU. GU is more clear in my opinion because the breakout to the downside is way more obvious. But let's see. Let's put it on there. This is looking good to be honest, price action wise. We are also in a pretty strong zone. Yeah, and the GU fits the price trap way more. Let's see. All right, let me check if we have some more pairs for today. So here, AD Canadian, by the way, I'm not sure if I shared this yesterday. No, I didn't. Was a beautiful breakout retest of that resistance. Also, same like AD USD. What we can do right now is just use that new high and take a look if we can follow up that uptrending movement. For the downside, I'm gonna put this zone on this, but just know I do like this zone here. See you next week, bro. You know you can watch the recordings. So that's for AD Canadian. I do like the support zone, but be careful because we have that uptrending move for the last couple of days. But of course, we first have the breakout retest to the upside that we can look at. ADCHF, same exact thing. We got a beautiful breakout retest. Did I share this? No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. I did share ADCHF yesterday, like you can see. So that was the first price trap. And like I told you at the beginning of the session, once the market creates some new structure, you can definitely use that. Wait for the next breakout. This is the core of price trap. Highs and lows. How can you check it? How can you know, like, do I have good zones? Do I have good price traps? Simply zoom out and take a look at how does the market react in the past to the zones that I just drew. Okay. Ends the JPY. I'm gonna check in a moment. Let me check. Let me check. You're looking for sells, buys, sells. Yeah, we talked about this. The breakout retest. I didn't trap it yesterday, to be honest. Or did I? Let me first check before I'm lying. Nope, I didn't trap it because I didn't really like what I was seeing. And to be honest, when I'm looking at a certain price trap, you know what I say, right? When we have the breakout, we can look for sells as long as the market respects the previous structure, right? But I personally see already we have like these two opportunities here. Mostly of the time, you would have like one of the two that hit your stop loss. But if you have two of them, like two times the reaction, I wouldn't be reacting anymore. Okay. Otherwise, you can keep on reacting, and you're more like marrying a certain direction there. It is looking good though. Yeah, it is looking good price action wise right now, but I personally don't like it. I'm gonna stay away from it. Okay. All right. Let me check. Let me check. What do we have more? So ADNZD was a beautiful breakout retest from yesterday. I would love to see this pair going a little higher again. So go back to the supplies from last week. Right over here, if you can remember the price trap, we already had a breakout retest from the price traps I share on our private part there. But let's see if we can get higher, okay? If we can break out, retest again, and go back to this level here, okay? ADUSD, yeah. Also, yesterday, price trap, breakout retest, beautiful. Let's see if we maybe can get a new retest out of this. Let me first check the higher time frames here. Um, pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. No, I don't like it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Can CHF JPY, by the way, was looking pretty decent here. Did I have this yesterday? No. Oh yeah, I did. This was pretty much the zone that I was focused on. Right over here. We did have a reaction here, some price action. This would be the second one. If I see the market does not respect, I'm gonna leave it alone. But at this point, nah. What I really want to see is a breakout of a 5-minute structure here. Oh, this will be the final confirmation if the market can go lower or not. Yeah, I'm not gonna share it right now. Let's move on. Oh, nope. This is a big consolidation, but it is a price trap. Like you can see, obvious that the market is stuck in between these two zones. So once the market breaks out of this, the greater the consolidation, the greater the breakout, like they say a lot of times. For me, it doesn't really matter. As long as I get a breakout and retest, I'm happy. If it takes 1 hour or 5 days, it doesn't matter as long as I get a breakout retest. Trade from yesterday, take profit hit. Let's go. Easy. Euro USD. I love it. I think I also gave Euro USD, right? Yeah, I did. Look at that. Boom. We did not react from the first zone. If I'm not mistaken, we dipped in this little one here. Let me check. Ah, came close. Beautiful. I love it, bro. Enjoy the profits. Now we could use the new structure, of course, because we have a new low. And we have this high here. We are at a very strong high, to be honest. So the chances are high we'll just sell off from this point. Ooh, I like it. For sells, I do like it. But no, that's not what I'm gonna do right now. We want to trap price, wait for confirmations, and then react. So GCAT, I'm gonna leave it on here, but I'm not a big of a fan of it because of this low that got rejected and not broken. But I'm just gonna leave it on there to see. I'm curious. Maybe GN, follow up that downtrending movement here. Let's see. Let me check where we are. Yeah, we could go lower. Let's see. I would be careful though. If the market breaks above this, there's a very high chance the market is just respecting here this supply zone, so we're getting a deeper retracement, a deeper correction to go lower. All right, that's why I do the arrows. If you see an arrow just above my price charts or just below, that's the reason. That's why I do this, to show you, like, watch out. There is some supply there. So GU, I do like this one. This is one we gotta pay attention at. Let me check. What does the price action say? Nope, not convinced yet. Let's wait. Always be patient. Don't rush yourself in an idea just because you want to trade. Also a big problem of a lot of traders. They necessarily have to trade every single day. That's not what you need to do. There we go. NZD, USD. Let's check if we can follow that uptrending market. Yes or no? UCAT is ugly. UJ, we could trap it like this. There we go. Oh, that's you, chef. Excuse me. This is UJ. UJ, I'm gonna leave it alone. This was a breakout retest from yesterday, by the way. Look at that. Whoo! Look at that. This is the zone. This is what I shared here yesterday. Love it. If you want to get access to these sessions, like every single morning, you gotta send me a private message so I can give you all the information you need if you want to follow these sessions. All right, so these are the price traps for today. So we have 80 Canadian waiting for the retest, 80 CHF waiting for the breakout, same like 80 NZD, Euro CHF, Euro NZD, Euro USD, and USD CHF. All right, NZD USD is still waiting for the retest. Well, I believe the market can go a little deeper here, so I'm not putting in a blue flag yet. GU, we gotta pay attention because this can be for every moment. This can be in 1 hour, in 30 minutes, or in 5 minutes. Same thing for GN and GCAT. GCAT, like I said, less of a fan, but let's see how it will turn out. Okay, so good. Let's check the cryptos because that's always the last part I do on my sessions. Let's first talk about how the weekly close. So that's the first thing I always do on a Monday morning with the people on the Discord. Is like, what did the weekly do? So the weekly did close bullish, not the most convincing one, but remember that there was also a monthly closure. The monthly closure is rejecting pretty strong from the previous low. In my opinion, this is a very strong low, so I don't see the market taking that low yet. What I wanted to see is the market breaking out above these levels here. So first of all, this was the zones where I wanted to see the market react on. That's what we are seeing here on the daily time frame. If we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, this is what I drew on my session here. What I wanted to see is just this liquidity here needed to take out at least, okay? And now we are there, okay? We are breaking out, we are creating bullish structure. So let's see if we can hold this, okay? We now broke above this, we took out this liquidity. I do expect a little retracement to then go higher into the supply levels on the daily time frame, okay? If we see the daily time frame retest here, this supply zone, we got to start paying attention. That 100K level will be very important, okay? Will we break through it, straight through it? I don't know. We shall see. But once the market is here, we really want to start paying attention because this could be a turnaround here, okay? So Bitcoin still looking positive, still looking good in my opinion. Especially if you open up that monthly time frame, look at that. Like, come on, this is ridiculous. This is just so bullish. But let's see. Okay, like I said last week, I am aware that we broke the structure on the daily time frame, even you could say the weekly time frame. But I'm still convinced we can at least have a relief rally back to the 100s or maybe 110 area. Okay. So that's a little bit the vision that I have for Bitcoin. So the upcoming days, what do I expect? Maybe hold today, retracement tomorrow, and another run in the weekend. Okay, so that's a little bit what I do expect from the markets. Of course, this doesn't mean that I'm saying it's gonna happen or that I'm saying you're gonna buy Bitcoin or that kind of stuff. Nope. That's not what I'm saying because I'm not giving any financial advice on these sessions. The only thing I'm doing here is sharing my knowledge so you can use that knowledge for your own and go and make the decision yourself in the markets. All right, Ethereum almost exactly the same thing. So we got the first higher low on the 4-hour time frame. We still have a lot of liquidity right over here, so we can definitely go above that. Let's see. What I wanted to see from Ethereum is something like that, and then we gotta pay attention. Same thing like Bitcoin on that daily supply zone. Can we break through that? Yes or no? That will be the big question for Ethereum also. All right, it's pretty much for the whole market. Like for example, here on Uniswap, can we start breaking these supply zones again? Yes or no? It's pretty much the whole market acting in the same way. Okay, so beautiful, good. That's it. Any more questions? Everything clear? Let me know. Let me check. What is GCAT doing? We are engulfing on 1 hour, on 30, and on 15 minutes, but this is way too early. We still need to wait for the candle closures. GN, nothing yet. That's obvious. We don't have any price action going on there. GU, yeah, Doji. Doji is created. Let me check what level do we have here. I do like the level we are on also. But we don't have the price action that I want to see yet. All right, so we gotta stay a little patient here. Good. That's it. I don't see any questions coming in. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. You got some mindset. You got some basic charting. You got some live charting. You got some review on crypto. So yeah, in my opinion, this is a very valuable session. If I would see this session 8 years ago, I would be happy someone is doing this. So I am grateful I can do this. I am grateful I can share this with other people because this is something that changed my life completely 8 years ago, and I want to spread the message. I want to spread the word. I know what kind of impact this can have, but of course, it always lays down to yourself. If you are putting time in it, if you are consistent in it and disciplined by putting in the actions, by putting in the hours, by reading the books, by going to the gym, by going back testing in the charts. It's such a very important thing that you got your life in the right way, especially when you're trading. Not just the charts, also your health, your mental health, your physical health, and so on. Okay, so thank you all for being here. I'm also very grateful for you guys that you are on the sessions, also for the people who are watching the recording on a weekly basis. grateful for you also. If you have any feedback, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. You can ask them in the comments of the YouTube channel. You can ask them in the Discord channel. You can ask them in the Telegram channel, wherever you want. And I will do my best to get back to you and to help you as good as possible. So, boys and girls, guys, and we see each other next week, 8:30, again, of course, for the review of the price traps we have from today, and of course, to make some new price traps for the upcoming week. All right. So see you all very soon again, and have an amazing day. Ciao, ciao.